better. He weighs in tonight at 205 pounds. A lot of the fans here said this guy's too light, he's too small, he can't be successful, but that's what everybody said about the Lightning Kid.
And Fumi, as we're watching him control the arm, you know, he's trained by Brad Ringens, and if anybody is going to train you in the basics of professional wrestling, it's Brad, and you can see it. You don't often see a man controlling one body part in the modern-day era of pro wrestling.
Right. Inside term, probably, but I know what they call the high spot wrestling, that all they do is just big moves and flying moves, and if you do all these big moves one after the other, that will not going to mean anything. And what wrestling is to win your opponent, to beat your opponent, and what you did in the ring is more important than, I don't know, what's in your head.
Absolutely, a very, very good point. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dynamic is screaming and yelling about what's going on in the ring, but referee Eddie Sharkey, one of the very, very best, right in on top of the action. And certainly, Christian, we don't want to take anything away from Mr. Dynamic. Not only is he a powerhouse, a brawler, scientific when he wants to be, he's wrestled for the World Wrestling Federation. He's been around the block more than once. Very, very tough competitor.
And look, right now, he's taking over. He had the Kamikze Kid and those leg scissors. Oh! Well, now, of course, the Kamikze Kid taking over again, but we haven't seen Mr. Dynamic for a while. Where has he been?
Well, with Mr. Dynamic, you never know. I mean, here's a man, you never know that Mr. Dynamic you're going to get from week to week. One night he'll come out and shake your hand and he'll wrestle by the book. The next night he'll pick up a chair and he'll spit on people in the first 6 rows. So tonight we're looking at a very, very frustrated Mr. Dynamic. And Fumi, it's very possible that he underestimated the talents of the Kamikze Kid.
Yeah, certainly appears that way.
And referee Eddie Sharkey watching very, very closely, asking Dynamic if he wants to call it a night. I guarantee you just about have to take this man's head off to get him to submit.
Well, like you said, we've seen Mr. Dynamic in many key matches here in the state of Minnesota and really the 5-state area. And there's nobody tougher than him. Look at that physique. He still looks like a bodybuilder. He's tough as nails.
Whipped off the ropes. Oh, a drop kick. Very ineffectual by the Kamikze Kid. But wait a minute. Oh! There's that ring generalship, the veteran, Mr. Dynamic, and Fumi. Kamikze Kid telegraphed it. He's in the ring with a man who knows what he's doing.
That shows some very inexperience, you know, the timing of it. But Kamikze Kid willing to do things. He just showed 2 drop kicks.
Well, that could just about do it right there. Oh, very, very arrogant cover, if you can even call it a cover, on the part of Mr. Dynamic, who now just appears to be toying with the Kamikze Kid. We've seen the Kid, Christian, in the ring with bigger men than Mr. Dynamic. We've seen him in the... Oh! He tried for the press slam, but over the top. Wait a second, he rolls him up. What a maneuver, Fumi!
That was good.
Oh! Didn't quite get the hook that he wanted there, but certainly sliding down the back, showing us a little something different. Fumi, we've seen Kamikze Kid in the ring with the likes of the Blacktop Bully. He'll get in the ring with everybody from Jerry Lynn to the Bully to Mr. Dynamic. This kid wants to make it.
Yeah, I can see his willingness, sacrificing, and sacrifice your body, sacrifice your time, and overall.
Oh, he tossed him like a ping pong ball, hung him over that top rope, and Kamikze Kid is not exactly moving right now.
As good as the Kamikze Kid is, I've got to believe he's just giving up too much weight. According to my card here, according to what the Northern Premier officials have given me tonight, he's giving up 35 pounds, but it looks like a lot more than that.
Oh, you've got to believe it's at least 35 pounds. Mr. Dynamic, who takes training very, very seriously. You can tell that by looking at him. Now he's got the Kamikze Kid draped over that top rope. Oh, with an uppercut. Boy, I'll tell you, more behind that than Buster Mathis showed the other night. Man, oh man. Mr. Dynamic, when he smells blood, when he senses that he has an opponent in a compromising position, he's relentless and he's methodical. And that's what we're seeing right now. Kamikze Kid, a valiant, valiant youngster, but he might possibly, Fumi, be overmatched here.
Well, at this point in his wrestling career, winning and losing is not that much big of an issue. That how much he fought, how hard he fought, will be the point. The more important thing than winning and losing.
Everything's a learning experience at this point, getting in that ring time.
Yeah, I think so.
And certainly you know Brad Ringens very well. You talk about a master technician.
Oh, yeah. And a big discipline.
Over the top, attempted sunset here. Oh, no. Couldn't get him. Count of 1, 2. Wait a second. Gotta wait. Major upset coming. Oh. Caught him with that heel of the boot right between the eyes. And boy, that'll change the complexion of a matchup in a hurry.
But that shows you how much the Kamikze Kid, has come along so far.
Comma there.
I'm sorry.
Kind of a run-on sentence. Too many commas.
Every time this man steps into the ring, we've seen that he's learned something more. He's got to be going back to Brad Ringens, asking him for tips. He's watching the match tapes.
Oh, man. Now, I'm not sure. The kid apparently had something in mind. He elevated himself, and he ran right into that tree trunk forearm of Mr. Dynamic. And again, Fumi, this is pure arrogance. This is a sloppy cover.
Well, he should cover the leg hooked up and everything.
Mr. Dynamic, ladies and gentlemen, the self-proclaimed pride of Superior, Wisconsin. What's he got set up for him right now? He's attempting. It looks like a vertical suplex here. But there's a block twice now by the kid, and a great reversal. Surprising strength being shown by the Kamikze Kid.
10 minutes the last time.
And as Christian just announced to the crowd here at Cottage Grove, 10 minutes have elapsed. Oh! Dynamic playing a little possum, caught the Kamikze Kid coming in there with that short clothesline. Both men down once again. Mick Karsh along with Christian Dady and Fumi Saito coming to you from the rodeo in Cottage Grove, Minnesota with Northern Premier Wrestling. Oh, what a shot. Oh, he caught him on the temple right near the eye. Man, you could hear that out on the Highway 61 here in the Twin Cities. Dynamic now methodical. You're not going to get a lot of speed out of Dynamic. You're going to get high impact each and every time. Fumi, high-risk maneuver here.
Yeah, super play. Yeah, that'll do it.
Well, the kid looks about out of it. And Mr. Dynamic, arrogant, said he's absolutely nothing, demeaning the kid verbally. Oh, please, here we go again. Why in the world, Fumi? Yeah. Well, I guess I know the answer without asking it. He just wants to embarrass this youngster.
Humiliate more, yeah.
Let's see if it's going to pay off or if it's going to backfire. A duck at the clothesline. Oh, kid caught him.
That's good. Double clothesline, neck breaker drop, I guess.
You bet. Sharky in on top now, counting both men here. Mr. Dynamic, Christian, I think, had at least 4 or 5 opportunities to pin the Kamikze Kid, and his arrogance and his ego took over.
Like I said, it's been a long time since we've seen Mr. Dynamic. I don't know if he's just showing off for the crowd tonight. I don't know if he's not taking this kid seriously, but he could have had this match won about 5 minutes ago.
And now Kamikze Kid, wait a second now. I don't know how advisable this one is. He's coming from the top. Oh, no, right into the power slam. That's it. Mr. Dynamic, ladies and gentlemen, gets the Duke at about the 12-minute plus mark over a very game, but I've got to believe, outgunned Kamikze Kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner at 12 minutes and 10 seconds, Mr. Dynamic.
Mr. Dynamic out of Superior, Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen, victorious. And we're going to be coming back to the rodeo in Cottage Grove, Minnesota. For Chris and Fumi, this is Slick Vic. Stay with us.